The NFL season is upon us, and I'm ready to start a riot. You want to know why? Because I'm a fan of the New York Giants, and they piss me off. I'm Manny.
I'm Frank.
I'm definitely censoring that.
I'm Joseph.
And today we have a very special guest. He's very near and dear to my heart. He is my brother, Xavier. Professor X has finally joined the Triple Take live and in color.
What's going on?
I know you're probably wondering. He is not sitting in a wheelchair. That chair is a Fortnite chair. I didn't. That is crazy.
It's my son's chair. Look at Joseph.
So today we will obviously be talking about the NFL. The season approaches, and we have to go backwards before we go forward. And backwards is a long road of pain and suffering for these people right here. But at least there was some shining lights, obviously. Well, no, there was no shining light. I just lied. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. They destroyed every person that they possibly could on the way there. It was just convincing fashion, if I would say so myself. For that way, for your baseball fans that are also football fans, this was the equivalent of the Dodgers destroying the whole entire league. This is what it was. And it's just a joke. You know, Eagles fans, I'm sorry. I actually like you guys. I just don't like Philly. And, you know, it hurts my heart to say that, you know, it was a well-deserved ring. But you know, on to the next thing. But what is it? Hold on. I gotta collect myself. I can't believe I just said that.
I can't even fathom the fact that he uttered those words, bro. That's so funny.
It's like saying I like the people and you're still...
That's what you just said.
At least as far as last year, the teams I want to talk about, obviously besides the Eagles, the Chiefs, because obviously they were going for the three-peat, but I guess Taylor Swift wasn't enough this time around.
Some might say she was the antagonist.
Some might say that she was shaking it off with the Eagles.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Joseph, turn this way. Look at the camera.
That was so bad.
Somebody say bad blood.
But obviously, you know, you fail the three-peat, and it seemed like they were completely dominated in that Super Bowl game. This was, in my opinion, one of the worst Super Bowls I've ever watched.
No, facts, bro. Facts, bro. Terrible. They were blown out, what, from like before the halftime?
Yes. And, you know, obviously, you know, Xavier could speak on this because he's a Broncos fan, and the second worst Super Bowl I've ever watched happens to have his team in it.
Oh, yeah, wonderful. Let's not talk about that one. You know, with the Seahawks, you know, and MetLife, and, you know, Peyton Manning just having a horrendous Super Bowl.
Wait, but X, how does it feel for your team to go to the Super Bowl?
You know what's funny? I was actually at work, and I was unable to see the game. But every time I was looking at the phone, and once I saw the first play happen, I believe it was it a safety, or I think the ball went back and they got a touchdown. That's what it was. I think it was like a pick six or something like that. And from then on, they just never recovered. It was the worst game ever. I'm glad I didn't watch it.
You saved yourself the hurt and the pain that Manny felt last season with the Giants.
Yeah, for sure. At least 2 years later,
at least they made it. At least his team made it to the Super Bowl. My team.
Yeah,
you know what? Wait, we'll save that for later. For
sure. Facts.
But you know, X. Obviously, the Chiefs are in your division. Speak on them. Like the performance in the Super Bowl. What happened?
I'll tell you this. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, phenomenal. The fact that out of the 17 games that they played, I think 16 they were trailing and came back, or 15, somewhere around there. Like, that to me is crazy. And then they showed their true colors when they played the Eagles. The Eagles literally destroyed them, which was exactly what I thought should have happened in the other games. I mean, the game is the game, but I was obviously happy. I'm sorry, you got to rep the team. Although I'm not an Eagles fan either, so it's not like, ooh, let me root for the Eagles. Nah, I mean, I was just happy, obviously, that Patrick Mahomes didn't get that three-peat, because, you know, what does that solidify to him? Could be a lot of things.
He would have been the GOAT.
Not for real.
Debatable,
for this
but
generation?
It would have been over. It would have been over. It would have been over. It would've been
Like,
debatable.
how can you
I
argue
would
that,
say.
right? How can
Brother,
you argue that?
it
Though?
it'd have been the first one. He would have been the first quarterback to do a three-peat.
Listen, I'll give that to him that, he would be the first player. I don't know. It still would be debatable. You still need to get 7 rings or 8 rings. That's, not saying that Brady is, but Brady is.
That's true.
He's
That's
the
like
GOAT.
that's like the 27 World Series argument for the Yankees.
Screw you, you sun kiss lipping dude. Like, you weirdo.
What was that?
You weirdo.
What was that insult?
I don't
bro?
like Tom Brady. I never have. I never will.
Yo. Oh,
But
you're talking about Tom Brady. I thought you were talking to me, bro.
Listen. If there's anything that you could say right now that you could claim, that you can claim until till you're in the afterlife. I'm telling you, bro, is you beat Tom Brady twice, man, and you got to see it.
The afterlife
Twice.
is crazy.
The Giants.
The afterlife is crazy.
I mean, wasn't there a point where like the Giants were like just the Patriots' kryptonite, bro? That's what they were saying,
we
right?
still are. We still are.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought it just didn't matter anymore because Tom Brady wasn't on the team.
Oh no,
But
forget it. I mean, I think if the Patriots and Giants ever go again, I think it's still gonna be the Giants. I think there's this haunting factor that's gonna always be there.
It does. Speaking of the kryptonite, just a little fun fact for you. My uncle is a Patriots fan and a 49ers fan. So it does me great pleasure for Thanksgiving to be like, got him.
how does it feel knowing you won all those Super Bowls, but you still can't beat my team?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can little brother my uncle, basically.
That's
It's
crazy.
true. It's true, man.
Vicariously through the teams.
But at least as far as last season goes, my biggest surprises, we'll talk about them more, are the Bengals being as bad as they were, not making the playoffs. That's tough. Another surprise for me, the Jags. The Jags were horrendous. I would have think that Trevor Lawrence would have had an up, but it just declined, and the rest of the team did not follow at all.
Yeah.
Like, it was really bad. I think one of my last surprises, because they're so good, is the 49ers. On paper, this team is built to win a Super Bowl, but yet last season you went 6-11?
Mhm.
Like 6-11, dude. Your expectations are through the roof, San Fran. Like, this is win now or have your fan base turn on you later. Like, this is what it is. And to see them crumble is insane to me. Coming off of the fact that they were in the Super Bowl the season prior, it was like they had a sophomore slump. Like, that's what it felt like. And Brock Purdy was nowhere to be seen. People questioned his leadership. Now I question whether or not he's able to even bounce back and recover before they end up getting another quarterback.
I mean, I can say that they were definitely hurt. I mean, they had a lot of injuries on the offense. Their offensive line was hurt. Christian McCaffrey, he led their team the year before. Think about it. He had 22 touchdowns or something like that. Like, he was on fire, And then you lose Brandon Ayuk. And then, Samuels, he was the only one. Debo, he was the only one carrying with Kittles. And then when they both got hurt, then you're depending on another wide receiver. Like, it was just constant. And then running backs too. There was they had 3 or 4 running backs, and they excelled to what they could do, man. I mean, I think this year would be a lot different for them. Their expectations are going to be high because, you still have Christian McCaffrey. So we'll see what happens, man.
To start off the conversations, I'm going to bring up the first topic. Will the Bengals make the playoffs this year? I don't think so. I mean, the reason why, Joe Burrow, man, you hit the gritty on him, but I don't think the gritty's enough. The potential loss of their offensive line and the situation possibly becoming uncomfortable. They already kind of had a very weird start to last season and a lot of tough losses. And I feel like that's going to kind of add to the pressure on Joe Burrow. And I don't think he's going to come up to, what's it called?
He's going to bring back that MVP form.
No, I don't think he will.
Okay.
I think there's going to be too much pressure, and I don't think he's going to come back with the MVP form, and I think it's going to take. But if they do keep that offensive line, I think they might be able to make a comeback, and Joe Burrow will have that, bring back the MVP form. It all depends on that, in my opinion.
So for me, Joe Burrow dealt with injuries and last year, and now this year he's walking into a very similar situation. Obviously, the offensive line needs to take a stand for him to be the man that we all know he can be. So in that sense, I do agree with Frank that the offensive line needs to make sure that Burrow is protected inside the pocket, so that way he could work his magic with his wide receivers of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Because obviously that dynamic duo is, one of the best in the league. Whether you like the Bengals or not, it's the truth. So will they make the playoffs? I want to say yes, but something is eating me up in the back of my mind telling me that it's not going to happen this year, and we're going to have a big overhaul in the Bengals organization going into next year.
I think you guys, I don't know. I have high expectations for the Bengals. Just alone on Monday, they played the Commanders. And I mean, it was intense, man. The offensive line still needs some work. You're still looking at Joe Burrow, man. I mean, and he has the best wide receivers the duo has ever seen. I mean, you could think about any other duos right now, but they're the top. They're the top, man.
Did you say they're the best in the league? I would disagree.
They're the best in the league, man. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just stating facts, man. I'm just saying. You got a triple crown wide receiver, and then T. Higgins is. I mean, when he's given the ball, he is just on another level. He has now all the receivers that he needs. He has his running backs. The only thing is the offensive line now. What is going on? You have a guy like Orlando Brown. I mean, that guy is dynamic. Everybody else, what are we doing? When you speak about the defensive side too, losing Hendricks is going to really hurt them if they really lose him. So I hope that they're not going to trade him or anything like that, that they're going to come up with a good, signing for him. And he's going to take it, because having him is going to be the best thing for that team. Me personally, seeing them last year as a Broncos fan and playing them, I think it was the second to last week. They needed that win, and it was intense. And you just saw that if they made it to the playoffs, because we were the ones that actually won against the Chiefs the following week, I think they would have made a lot of noise, man. And I think they would have beat the Chiefs, and they could have been the ones going to the Super Bowl. As much as I'm just saying,
that sounds like bias. That sounds like bias.
I'm just
saying. But
saying.
they still would have lost, though, in my opinion.
I think they would have lost against the Eagles, but I think the way that they were going, unfortunately,
they would have made it.
First, I think it was like the first 4 weeks last year, they lost. And they lost where they should have won. So I'm just saying, man. I mean, I know there's other teams out there that, Bills, Ravens, but I'm just saying, they were definitely on a roll.
And then with the offensive line, I feel like in the fact that he was injured before, I've seen how the NFL can be plagued with injuries, and with your quarterback, especially a star quarterback like Joe Burrow, kind of overworking himself, it could potentially lead to him getting injured again if he doesn't really have that O-line.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, I got another perspective of him watching the Netflix, the quarterback. I mean,
the quarterback?
Yeah, he was in it, and I really, you get to see a different Joe Burrow, and it's, I don't know, I was very fascinated. Definitely, he was the top 3 MVP. I still think it should have been Lamar, but we'll leave it at that.
Facts.
No, I actually agree. I like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Whether it's fact or opinion, coming from a guy that barely knows anything about sports, much less football, I forgot the Bengals was a team. I'm not gonna lie. And if I'm not hearing it the way that I'm hearing about Chiefs, Eagles, all these other teams, no, they're not gonna make the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
Why are you so mean?
I'm not being mean. I'm simple and sweet, straight to the point.
It's all about branding.
I don't know anything about the technical stuff, but you ain't going to get branding if you ain't performing. Let's just be real.
Listen, I'll say this. I think wild card spot is where they'll be. Ravens are still the top.
I can see that.
So now, as I'm presenting the question, right, can Brock Purdy lead the 49ers back to dominance? Look, the way I'm looking at this picture, because he's literally just looks like a kid who got his juice box stolen. And based off of their performance last year, right? He's kind of looking at his opportunity being taken away from him. And whether or not they actually do well, you could kind of look at his story more of like as his come up or like an underdog trying to rise up from the loss. And whether it actually happens or not, that's not what's interesting me. It's more of his sense of character if he's really able to endure the weight of the sport. Because at the end of the day, everyone's going to be looking at him. Are you going to really take us out of this L? Lead us to win? Maybe to the playoffs? Maybe to the Super Bowl? Fingers crossed and your toes at this point. But, I don't know. At the very least, I'm just hoping that he just doesn't let the negativity get to him and weigh him down. Because at the end of the day, I'm a fan of just watching people surmount the odds to define them and just hold out on his own.
I like that.
All right,
I like that because look, Brock Purdy, this is what, year 4,
I
right?
think this is year 4, yeah.
This is year 4, and you've taken them to 2 Super Bowls. You've taken them to 2 Super Bowls. Obviously, this is more of a right guy in the right situation type of thing, whereas a lot of people would say wrong guy in the right situation because some people believe and question Brock Purdy's ability as a quarterback to carry a team to the promised land and win. You carried them there based off of talent because on paper, the 49ers are one of the best teams in the league. So a lot of people say, well, Brock Purdy doesn't really need to do that much when you got these stars around him. Now, for me, I'll say this. You put about 10 other quarterbacks in the 49ers position, and I promise you they would have won a Super Bowl by now. So now Brock Purdy, year 4, I would like to say that you can lead them back. I would like to say that you're able to do this. But as Joseph said, this is your story, and your story is going to be told from taking this L that you took last season and turning it into magic and somehow finding a way to bring the 49ers back to the promised land. And by the promised land, I'm saying at least the NFC Championship game. If you're able to do that, I'm pretty sure people won't be too upset with you. And I'm pretty sure they won't move on from you. But if it was me, and I'm the 49ers organization, I have my target on Brock Purdy's head as the first to take the blame when it all goes wrong.
Sounds about right. I mean, he's Mr. Irrelevant, right? So your expectations are very high now because you're, like you said, you're in year 4. So now it's more of where can we take this? Last year, it was a fluke. Everybody was hurt. What can you do now? You lost Deebo Samuels. I mean, Brandon Ayuk is not going to be back till maybe week 7. There's a lot of questions. The defense, they lost a couple of guys. So I believe Shanahan is going to have a big role to fill for him, and I think he's going to set it up the right way. It's just a matter of where they're going to be. But it's a hard league, as we know, and in the NFC West, I mean, they're going to have a lot of problems. They still have the Rams that they have to deal with. They have to deal with the Seahawks. These are very tough teams. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where Brock Purdy goes. I don't see them going to the playoffs. I'm being honest, and who knows? There will be a lot of questions. I think it might be more of where do we go from here if Brock Purdy can't take us to the promised land again.
I like a good comeback story as always, but when it comes to this situation with their team, it's like when you have all those pieces that people think you're supposed to win, Mets, and you just don't win, or even make it to the playoffs,
Catching strays in an NFL game, crazy work.
But something does happen, and I'll say something good about the Mets right now. Something good happens when you turn it from the team that's supposed to win to having to prove yourself again. Something like magic happens where, like, okay, now I got to prove myself, so I'm going to go 10 times harder. And I'm hoping that's what Brock Purdy does, because I feel like if they don't perform this year, he might be looking at getting traded at this point.
Getting released, getting sent to
I
the
hope
bench.
it's not released. I hope it's not released, and I hope it's not the bench. I hope it's traded. Oh, maybe even to the other league, or maybe the same league if they want to win. Who knows? But either way, do it for somebody else, bro. But yeah, I agree with you guys. I don't think they're gonna make it to the playoffs either. Even though it might be a good comeback story, it's very unlikely, especially with the tough teams that Xavier was saying. Like, he only mentioned 2, but there's like a bunch, bro. Like, how can you really compete. The way they are, they're like separated, like fragmented compared to teams that are like so well put together. The only injuries could save them from the other teams at this point. And that's very possible with football. So
Yeah.
but moving on. Speaking about quarterbacks, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, will they make it back to the playoffs, bro? I don't know, man. Because injuries.
I would like to go last.
Injuries, like I said, like I was just saying before, injuries, especially in football. Man, like, I'm going to just put it in perspective. I watched when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go against the Ravens, like last year, and I literally, in front of my eyes, saw four injuries in the same quarter.
He watched the Chris Godwin injury.
And I was like, bro, their whole team is cooked. And it's late in the season. Like, they're cooked.
That was brutal.
They have no team now. Like, they're not gonna go anywhere after this. So like, this is what makes, honestly, unfortunately, that's what makes football the most unpredictable compared to any other sport, is the injuries. But like we've seen with people like Patrick Mahomes coming back from injuries, it can be possible. And Dak Prescott is a really good quarterback, right? So that's really what's gonna have to be seen. Can he come back from that hamstring injury and lead him back, right? After having a whole year of like doing not so great, right? So can he bring it back to that magic from the 2023, right? Can he do that? Who knows? We'll have to see.
I mean, football's a game, but it ain't a video game. One too many injuries, and you are not respawning.
No gulag.
No gulag.
No gulag.
2X. No battle bus.
No battle bus.
But I mean, like I said before with Brock Purdy, I do like a comeback story. But when it comes down to injuries, there's only so many injuries that are really recoverable. And at the same time, it is what it is. Like, you can't necessarily say, like, they're going to come back, they're going to recover. No one can guarantee that. Your body could barely guarantee that in general, And that's just that's like gambling without a plan. If there is a plan at this point, I have no idea. I have no opinion. I hope they heal. I hope they still have a job. That's important.
This guy's just preying on their safety.
That's a position.
I go to the gym now. I don't want to get injured. I ain't trying to be like them. But I'm also broke, so I don't know.
That's why I never play football, bro. I was scared to get injured.
I tell you, Dak Prescott, I mean, I'm sorry, but Jerry Jones he just has something that makes the Cowboys just be who they are. After 1995, you won 3 Super Bowls then, and that's it. And you've been stagnant throughout the whole entire time. And you're America's team, which I don't know how you're America's team still, but that's debatable as always. But if you think about like Dak Prescott right now, it's his throne to lose. And here we are again talking about them, worldwide or nationwide, where he's going to be dependent once again. His running backs, who's his running back this year? He's not going to have anybody, maybe Javonte Williams, ex-Broncos. Like, the guy didn't do so well. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, all the, his wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb. We're going to rely on him to be the running back. And you're going to have George Pickens and Jake Ferguson. I mean, the offensive line is still working. It's still in the process. For what we've known for years and years, the Cowboys always rely on the offensive line. I just don't see this working out in their favor. And then Micah Parsons. I mean, that's the biggest one for me. You're not giving him the money? Are you kidding me? That guy is, I wouldn't say he's Lawrence Taylor because he's not even close. Nobody's close to Lawrence Taylor, but he is right there. Like, he is very dynamic. He's a dynamic guy that I would give him the money immediately. And I'm telling you right now, they're going to have a hard time. Commanders are still there. Eagles are still there. Giants, we don't even know what they're going to be. I think they're going to be a tough.
I'll tell you in about 10 minutes.
I can't wait. These are teams that you're playing in your division. Where are you taking this? I don't see the Cowboys being who they are. They're going to have a hard time. They got a new head coach again. To me, I think you're going to start seeing the pitfall of the Cowboys. And that's it.
Xavier, to kind of answer your question, they're running back to the hospital. That's what's going to happen. I bet you a nickel.
It's only a hamstring injury. It's not that bad.
Until the leg falls off.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Like someone like Patrick Mahomes' leg hasn't fell off, bro. The way he's been playing, he'd be playing injured, bro.
It's
you
just
save,
it's crazy.
you save the best for last. Obviously, you see the logo on my chest. You see that I am not one of those cowgirls out there. You fans are fickle. You fans are terrible.
I see a
You
fading shirt.
You
That's what I see.
guys, it's faded because of what I'm going to say later. Let me tell you something, you Cowboys fans. Maybe this is the start of you guys actually start, humbling yourselves and starting to realize that your team is not that good. Guess what? You're in the easiest division in football, but it's not the easiest anymore because guess what? The Commanders are up. The Eagles are your reigning Super Bowl champions. You're going to get 2 wins from the Giants. Woo-hoo. You beat the Giants. Woo-hoo. You have nothing that can tell me that you guys are going to do something. And my good buddy, Jerry Jones, you fired Mike McCarthy. You brought in Brian Schmukulu, the offensive coordinator.
Brian Schmuckle?
And let me tell you something.
What's
I don't
his
know
name?
a lot about offensive coordinators in the league, but I do know something about this Brian Schmukulu. I do know something, and guess what? He has no type of sense of defense at all. Your defense, I will not be surprised
Schmukulu?
if it takes a step back.
Brian Smallculo.
Brian Schmucklo, bro.
Schumacher.
Schmucklo at...
They call it Shmuluku.
Okay.
Now, Dak Prescott is in the same position as Brock Purdy in the sense of this is the time to show them and to show everybody in the league who you are. Because if you don't, I guarantee you, you're gone. You're on the bench. They already thought about getting rid of you like 2 years ago. And that was when you were good. Like, imagine if
That's
you're bad.
crazy. Didn't it do good like 2 years ago?
Like, it's hilarious how much Cowboy fans will probably rave and say, we're going back to the promised land. We're going to win the Super Bowl. No, you're not. No, you're not.
That
You're
was
not
crazy,
going anywhere. You're not doing nothing. Will you make the playoffs? I honestly believe you will. And guess what? As fast as you get in is as fast as you're getting out, because these guys are not good. If Micah Parsons leaves, destroy the franchise. Calling back to Brian's episode, just blow up the stadium. Like, just blow up the stadium. It's over.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me.
You're canceled. Another topic I'm presented with. Will Aaron Rodgers have success in Pittsburgh? Trust and believe. I didn't know this man existed. The same way I didn't know some dinosaurs existed. This man is old. To be in football, looking like a whole math teacher? Brother. 18 years with the Green Bay Packers? My dude, you're a fossil in football. I don't want to be rude. I ain't trying to be mean. I'm pretty sure you've had an accomplished career.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer, right?
Future.
18 years. Haven't had enough injuries to stop your career. Props to you. But to go from one team that you were with for
Bro, this is
18
crazy.
years? I don't know. How are you going to fit? It's like literally having an old guy with another team. Like, how are you going to fit? I don't know. I hope they don't just call him Grandpa at this point. And I don't really have anything else nice to say aside from, good.
Did you even have anything to say at all?
I did.
At all?
I said 18 years. He hasn't gotten an injury. And he's still the game. He
just
still
said
has
the
a
time.
job. In this economy, to still have a job in that type of industry, I can't get a promotion at my own job.
I can't wait.
I'm gonna just go and I'm gonna let y'all rock after. But yeah, I feel like this is worse than Tom Brady, like leaving and then coming back.
Wait.
That
Did he have a
sounds like Brett
situation?
Favre to me, but
Did he have a situation with a wife? Or no?
No.
No,
That was,
no. Aaron
Tom
Rodgers
Brady
has
is
no
worse.
no, that was Tom Brady. That was Tom
Worse.
Brady.
This man chose football over his own wife. Just think about that.
That was Tom Brady.
That was Tom Brady.
Yeah. Not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is just, it just sucks to see. Like, I think we all hate to see it. Like, man, I think about, because I always relate, because I don't watch football as much as you and X do, Manny, but I always relate it to baseball. Like, I think about Albert Pujols in his last season, or Yadier Molina. It's just like, yes, bro, like, this is the guy that we grew up watching, even if we got to catch a glimpse of it. But man, Aaron Rodgers is at a point, bro, where, like, I'm not gonna say he's bad because, like, he still has a job, right? Like, but at this point, I feel like his name carries more than his actual ability. Like, I feel like at this point he just has to not play anymore. Like, I don't know how you can really push past this season as Aaron Rodgers. I hope he has at least a decent showing where he has like a positive record as the star quarterback of this team, so he can at least leave his legacy on a somewhat of a high note and then eventually become a future Hall of Famer. But will he have success? I wouldn't say success. I think they're just going to meet requirements.
The
But,
only
yeah.
requirement I want
Oh,
him to
boy.
meet is to retire before he expires. That's all I want for him to do.
Okay,
All right. I'll let X go last. I'll let X go last.
Okay.
He probably wanted to speak on this a little bit.
Yeah.
So for me, I'll be quick. Aaron Rodgers, you're already a Pittsburgh Steeler. You want to know why? Because you have the word steal in your team. Because that's what you're doing to this Pittsburgh Steeler. You're stealing their money. Because
Timmy's stealing their money.
Yeah, you're stealing their money.
I mean,
like
they're just paying to have Aaron Rodgers on the team, bro.
You went from the Packers. Storied career. Your first snap, you tore your Achilles.
I remember that. That was crazy, bro.
Your first few snaps, not your first snap. And
Bad injury.
you went on to the next season, 2024, 2025, and you just let the Jets be the Jets. But now the question is, was it the Jets being the Jets, or was it the lack of leadership from Aaron Rodgers? Now you're put in a position where the defense is one of the best in the league. You have one of the premier defensive position players in TJ Watt, and you have DK Metcalf now as your wide receiver. DK Metcalf, this man has bigger calves than I do muscles in general. This man's calf muscles probably the size of my whole body.
It's in his name.
He is, and somebody might shoot me for this. He is modern day Megatron. That I may shoot myself and in the foot for saying that, but he is modern day Megatron. And I think you're in a good position. Will you have success? No. I'm telling you right now, dude, guaranteed record of 9-8. Make the playoffs by the skin of your teeth to get bounced out in the first round, probably.
I'm just going to say it straightforward. Mike Tomlin has the ability to figure it all out somehow. Whether the team is, like you just said, 9-8, they're always either at 500 or above 500. It just doesn't matter. And like you said, their defense is still going to be the top. I mean, TJ Watt alone. I mean, TJ Watt is the man. But they did lose Fitzpatrick. He went to the Dolphins. So, it's going to be a little different with the defense, but they're still going to be as good. If not, they're still going to be at least in the top 10, I would say, defense. Now, going to Aaron Rodgers, bro, I think it's redemption. And I know it sounds weird, but I think there is sort of a redemption. When you said about the Jets being the Jets, I think there is the Jets being the Jets. Looking alone in preseason, you're just seeing that there's an aura to the Jets that what is going on? But that's another topic. To go back to Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to show in week 1 why the Jets, again, should have kept him instead of letting him go. And from then on, you're going to start seeing, not the Aaron Rodgers that we always knew, but at least the one that's going to get them to a solid, like you just said, 9-8 record. He ain't gonna be like, oh my gosh, MVP type, but he's just gonna be good enough to just get them possibly to the wild card. I don't know. You said DK Metcalf. To me, as long as DK Metcalf stays healthy, they're gonna be a very good team with a good duo. Just throwing the ball and everything. But we'll see what happens, man.
You can't talk about these teams without bringing up the reigning champs. The Eagles, will they repeat the Super Bowl? Will they repeat the Super Bowl and become repeat champions? Deuce, will they perform the deuce or will they say deuce? I think they will. I think the legacy talk for the Eagles it's well said. I know there's a different word for that, but it's well said. But the only little thing I have, right, is that the type of aura and energy they had about them was like kind of underdogs trying to show what they got, right? Like really showing yeah, you guys think that these people are going to win, but we're going to show you why they're not, right? If they can keep that energy going into this new season right now and not have a great start and then flop towards the end like they did in past years, I think they could easily repeat. And I think that shows an obvious prediction for my prediction for Super Bowl this year coming up.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
Spoilers. I'm just saying, it might be spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah, but you don't know what the other team is, though. I think I might throw a curveball with that one.
I mean, to Frank's point, they did have that underdog aura, and I think they could repeat as Super Bowl champions if their attitude isn't "we're the best," it's that we earned to be the best, and then not let that cockiness get to them. Because at the end of the day, a humble leader stays in charge. And if they stay humble as a team, and the mindset is that they are a team, then I think they'll stay on top. But the moment that wanes, it's going to be a cascading pitfall. Because, if you were the best last year, just as much work as you put in to become the best takes the littlest of nuances, one little injury, one little anything, and you will pitfall. So I think they can do it. Will they do it? That's a different story.
If they stay healthy and keep that mentality, bro, these might be the team that gets the 3-peat. I'm not gonna lie.
Spoilers for next year's episode. What are we doing?
I'm just saying.
We're
I
getting
think.
ahead.
Well, we'll see how this one
We're
goes.
getting way ahead. Look, I'll tell you this. I'll say this. Saquon Barkley is the primary holder to this team. He's the primary holder to this team. As long as he stays healthy, they're still going to be a very good dynamic team. I don't see any threat in the NFC for them right now. I really don't. Maybe the Commanders right now, and that's debatable. You think about all these teams right now that are trying to figure out how to get to the Eagles. Their offensive line, man, I just can't believe it. You get rid of Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce leaves, and they still had one of the best offensive lines. I mean, that's just crazy to me. Like, all right, he leaves, no big deal. We're still going to be even better. And even better with a guy like Saquon Barkley and showing his true talents, man. Like, this guy, just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I would say another MVP probably could have been. But as long as he stays healthy, we could see, again, possibly a repeat. I'm not saying anything yet because I'm not saying anything yet. I'm just saying. But, as long as there's no drama going on, because that's what it was last year, right? All the dramas with the head coach and Jalen Hurts and all that, and now it's almost like they won the Super Bowl, so enough about those talks. I think you could see them definitely going to the playoffs, and we'll see about that Super Bowl.
Short and sweet. You have my running back. That's not yours. That's my running back. My running back. Could they do it? Heck yeah. Will they do it? It's a question that they need to learn, because if we recall, the last time they did go to the Super Bowl, the following year, they had one of the biggest drop-offs they've ever had, going 10-1 to start, and then losing 6 straight in 2023. If they can learn from their previous mistakes, they will go far. Can they do it? I would like to believe that they could. I would like to believe that Saquon Barkley would get all the love and affection that he gets, and all the gold and all the Super Bowl rings. You're still in my heart, even though you're on the wrong side of the land.
Of history.
The wrong side of the state.
In my eyes. But
so far is right, but yeah.
Wrong side of I-95,
I've always been a fan of Jalen Hurts. I think he's underrated. I think he's a premier NFL superstar, NFL quarterback. I think he's if I'm creating a list, he's easily top 7, maybe top 6 quarterbacks in the league right now. And Nick Sirianni, what can you say about him? He always finds a way to make these things work. Similar to how Mike Tomlin always finds a way to stay above 500, this guy always finds a way to make sure that the Eagles are put in a position to win. So, with that, I think they can do it. Will they do it? To be determined. So now, with those headlines out of the way, obviously me and Xavier have our favorite teams. If you combine them together, you make the Mets. Funny enough.
That's so funny. That's actually hilarious.
So, we will be talking about our favorite teams, and since I have a lot to say, and there will be about like a good warning before, I'll let Xavier go first and talk about his Denver Broncos in the upcoming season.
I mean, if we start last year, we got our quarterback. It's funny because my brother and I, as as we were speaking about this last year, Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson, that's my guy.
Zach Wilson that. And I was like, no, Zach Wilson had his time. Jets, that's it. One preseason, he threw a nice ball, when he was with the Broncos, when he was playing with the Broncos last year. Preseason, I'm not saying regular season, he threw a nice ball. And I was like, wow, maybe brother's right. But then I saw Bo Nix in preseason, and it just told me exactly who we were going to get. And to start off, just alone, you're like, this guy is going to be the franchise quarterback. And I'm glad, because any Broncos fans would tell you right now, they made the best decision. Yes, we had Russell Wilson and Sean Payton and all the drama that was going on with there, but they turned it around 180. Now, what's the expectations for this year? I'm telling you, there's good expectations. They finally, I think they finally got a running back, a solid couple running backs, but a solid one. RJ Harvey is the premier running back that I was looking forward to. He went to UCF, as you guys, I got, alumni over here. The way that he played for the first his last 2 seasons, above 1,500 yards, scrimmage, purpose yards. Yeah, that was like a no-brainer. Like if we couldn't get a guy like, who's the running back that they got from the Las Vegas Raiders? Forgot his name. Help me. You don't know
What?
Ashton Genty.
Genty.
Yeah. The guy is 5'8", just like him, and they're the same size. And I wish that they got Ashton, but hey, I think he's the second running back that they got that really works out, because now not only do you have that, you have J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins, unfortunately, he's like he's always injury prone. So I'm not expecting a lot from him. But when he played with the Chargers, to see what he did, now coming to the Broncos, it's good, man. I'm looking forward to it. You got Pat Bryant, you got, Cortland Sutton, you got, Mims, you got all these good dynamic players that Bo Nix, he has no excuses. Now you have more players, more time, Evan Ingram, your boy, to throw the ball. All right? I'm just saying, man, and defensive-wise, they got even better, man. I got to get his name right. So, because if I don't get his name right, Talanoa Hufanga. This guy is a safety.
Aloha Hawana?
What?
Yes.
Cowabunga?
He played for the 49ers, man.
Johnny Tsunami?
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? What's crazy is he was inspired by Troy Polamalu. And, anybody knows Troy Polamalu, one of the best safeties I've ever seen in my life from the
Everybody
Steelers.
always compares me to that man because of my hair.
God bless, bro.
I've
It's a
gotten
good
it
thing,
like
man. It's a
so
good
many
thing.
times.
Yo,
I
it's
don't
a
have
good
a head
thing.
to show this commercial, bro. I don't even
Yeah.
use the product.
I know. And think about that. We took 2 guys from the 49ers. Dre Greenlaw, another linebacker. I think when it is all said and done, me personally, I hate the Chiefs. I don't like the Chiefs. I like Patrick Mahomes to an extent.
No, you love Patrick Mahomes.
I hate him. Ugh. But I'm telling you right now, I think this is the year where,
That was fun.
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. We always say this. AFC is very hard. There's always the hardest teams that are out there. But the Broncos, I think this can be their time to shine. I hope they do, because I do see them excelling from being, I believe they were 10-7. They have to now up it up. You have to beat the Chiefs straight up. Not like last year where Patrick Mahomes didn't play. This is the year where you got to play. You got to take them down. That's my feeling, and that's it.
Before Manny begins, because we all know him, we all love him to an extent, and this is those moments where the full moon comes and he's going to release the dog that's in him. He's going to be very loud. There's going to
Dog that's
be
in him
whatever
is
amounts of
crazy.
slander, whatever amounts of BS, and a whole lot of censorship. So trust and beware. If you're offended, that's on you. Manny, begin.
Thank you. That was great, Xavier. High expectations from a team that deserves it, When we get to talking about the New York Giants, there is no expectation. Holy smokes. I have never been so disappointed in a franchise in my entire life, and I'm a Mets fan. Like, what are we doing? I would say that we could go 0-17, get the number 1 overall pick, then draft a quarterback. But guess what you did? You drafted one.
Shut up. You're so loud.
What was the reason? You signed Russell Wilson. Broncos country, let's ride. Like, shut up. I cannot believe it. And then follow it up. We want to get views on TikTok. So who do we sign? The most funniest person on TikTok in the NFL. We signed Jameis Winston. What is he going to teach this rookie? What is he going to teach him, to throw more interceptions than he does touchdowns? That's what's going to show him? And what is Russell Wilson going to show him? How to have a future with Sierra? Like, what are you going to show him? Like, I don't understand. What are we doing? I don't understand. And then on top of, oh my God, the defense, you know what? It pains me to say this because the defense looks so good. It's really good. It has potential. Why can't you just do that to the offense? What are we doing? I want to say let's go 0-17. Let's get the number 1 overall pick, but who cares? You're not going to draft a quarterback. You have one. I feel bad for Jackson Dart. Guess what? Darts are supposed to hit the bullseye. You didn't find it with the Giants. I don't know what to say, bro. This is going to be the worst season I think I've ever watched in my entire life. I honestly believe that. They did not care about making this team good. They cared about making ticket sales. That's what they did. That's why they signed Russell Wilson. That's why they signed Jameis Winston. But at the end of the day, the Giants organization, you're teetering to the point where I'm going to just stop watching football. Like, there's no point. I might as well just watch it for fun. Like, what's the point of repping this team? Like, it's...
You already watched it for fun?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself, man.
Do it yourself.
Nah, talk about the angel and the devil on your shoulder, dog.
Let
me ask you a question, because I know you're in it right now. You're in it right now. You're here. I'm just saying, like, no. Do you see at least you have to believe that there is a future? Like, this defense, at least, I'm just saying, you got Abdul Carter now. You got at least the front line. Let's just look at the front line. Let's look at the front line.
This is the crystal ball. Look, I'm looking in. Guess what?
No.
You know what I see?
Yeah.
Black. Nothing but darkness. Nothing but sadness.
I'll say
Empty.
this because
Like this cup,
Disney.
empty.
the NFL really did them wrong, because their schedule is bad this year. They're going to have a lot of... It's the toughest one. You literally look, they're the number 1, I believe, for the worst schedule, and on top of that, they're trying to sort of rebuild. So I don't, it's going to be tough for the Giants fans along with you, bro. Like, it's going to be a tough time. It really is. And the thing is, the fans are going to be like, obviously Russell Wilson is going to be the starting quarterback, but immediately everybody's going to be like, no, put Jackson Dart now, put him now. Let's do this. We got to go for it. He looks so great. It's the preseason. Like, what are we talking about? Like, relax. This kid should stay behind these guys. Yes, Jameis Winston, what was it? He had a couple years ago where he led the league in passing yards and led the league in interceptions in the same year. So you don't want to deal with that guy. But if there is anything that's positive, is that defense is going to start looking like the defense that you saw when they played the Patriots. That's what I'm starting to see. Offense, hopefully they'll change it around for you. I really pray, because you look like you're going to break everything behind you. So, I love you.
In the simplest terms of expectation, I expect this team to get at least 1 win. I hope they get none.
Oh,
I hope
crazy.
you get blown out every game. I hope you guys don't sell tickets. I hope you guys just all of a sudden look at yourselves and fire the general manager. I just fire everybody. Bring back Tom Coughlin. Bring him back. I like him.
So you want Tom Coughlin to coach Archie
Jackson
Manning?
Dart. Oh yeah, Archie Manning.
I was just saying Archie Manning. I thought that's where you were gonna go with.
Look, I'm a simple guy. You want me to change my perspective? Go get Archie Manning, and I'll praise you guys. I'll say you're the best team in the NFL. I'll be your number 1 cheerleader. But until then, you have nothing but disgust from me. Now,
There's more.
Now, it is time, boys. for our Super Bowl predictions. Early. Frank, since you already spoiled half of it, you go first.
I think. Okay, so first I want to say this. I think the Chiefs are gonna have a down year this year. I think the Chiefs are gonna have a down year this year.
What is this hate on Patrick? What is
No,
this hate on?
I don't hate on Patrick. I lost to the Eagles. I'm sorry. It's because you'll see why. I messed that up. The loss of the Eagles is gonna have a bigger effect on them as a team structurally than we think, and I feel like it's gonna be shown here. And I feel like the Broncos or the Chargers are gonna kind of beat some sense into them. And like, yeah, bro, like we know you guys can be defeated. You guys got blown out in the Super Bowl, granted by our amazing team. But with them on the up and Chiefs on the down, I think they're not really gonna. They're gonna make it to the playoffs, obviously, but I don't think they're gonna do what they did like the last 2 years, right? So with that being said, my prediction for the Super Bowl is Eagles versus Ravens.
Lamar
Jackson.
finally does it.
Lamar finally does it, man. I really hope that they make it there, but I still think the Eagles are gonna win, obviously but I at least want them to make it there. And I really hope that this is the best Super Bowl I've seen in a long time, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been pretty disappointed for like a while now.
You had the SpongeBob one.
That was the only good thing about that Super Bowl. I don't care what you say. That was the only thing good about the Super Bowl, was that and the commercials. And even the commercials were kind of mid.
The halftime show was mid too.
I wouldn't even want to talk about that.
Yeah, Joseph.
I mean, my first part of my prediction has nothing to do with the game. I just know at Manny's house, that little corner of that couch is reserved for me.
I hope you're right.
Here we go with the most outlandish thing.
I want to go.
Say the Giants and I'll punch you through the monitor.
He was thinking about it, I could tell.
I mean, just looking at the numbers, right? But if you really wanted an underdog story, you would want the Giants to be in the Super Bowl, wouldn't you?
If they make the Super Bowl, I'll shut up. I'll retract everything that was said and published on this podcast.
And you'll release a public statement that you know nothing about football.
I'll do a public apology and post it on YouTube.
And you know nothing about football. You know what?
I know nothing about football, but if you want the worst to have an underdog story, you got the Giants with the Titans. I didn't even know that was a team. That's crazy.
Wait.
That's the Super Bowl prediction, fellas. It's the Giants versus the Titans.
I'm pulling this out of my ass.
You're gonna have a rookie Cam Ward versus Jackson Darts.
This man picked the teams with the worst record and said they're going to the Super Bowl. You think the Titans are going to tower over the NFL?
You know what?
I'll let the
Giants versus Titans. Who's the bigger one?
Who's the bigger one?
I'll let the guest go last. My Super Bowl prediction for you, ladies and gentlemen, is the Lions versus the Buffalo Bills.
That's crazy.
I have Josh Allen proving that Patrick Mahomes is not his father on his way to claiming his first Super Bowl. In Josh Allen, we trust.
If there's a year to do it, it's this year.
Hey, he's got Haley Steinfeld, so it's not that bad.
Is that a buff or a debuff?
You got to worry about Michael B. Jordan.
You didn't watch the movie. You can't say that.
I saw the clip, though. Over here while y'all were talking about. Kuz is crazy. That's all I'm going to say. Kuz is crazy. Sorry, X, go ahead.
No. It's okay. You know, I have to say, we didn't really speak enough about these Commanders. And now you're going to start hearing Commanders. I mean, Jaden Daniels is the man. I don't know what it is. He just has this aura. Jaden Daniels is the guy, man. I don't know what it is about these Commanders. Hopefully they get Scary Terry back. They got Deebo Samuels. They're getting rid of their running back right now. The one, I forgot his name. They're trying to trade him. But their defense is stacked. They have every tool that just makes sense to take out the Eagles. Now, I believe that this is what's going to happen. I believe that it's going to be, once again, an NFC championship rematch. And I think the tables are going to turn this time. I have a feeling the Commanders are going to go to the Super Bowl. I truly believe it. I think it's going to be the Commanders versus the Bills. I think finally the Bills are going to finally get what they've been tasting for over 30. I mean, God, man, you go to 4 straight Super Bowls and lose all of them. I think this is going to be the year that they're finally going to be defending champions.
You're saying the Bills are going to command this whooping. I see.
I might leave. Well, what are some of your predictions for the upcoming NFL season? I want you to comment down below some of your favorite teams, and I want you to predict what is their record going to be. I also want you to tell me who is going to win the Super Bowl. I'm Manny.
I'm Frank.
I'm Joseph.
And we want to thank our very special guest. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased because he's my brother, but he's that special. Trust me. And thank you for coming down, predicting
you.
some NFL with us. He will be back.
Yeah, let's go. Broncos, baby.
You got to say it. You got to say it. Say it.
Say what?
Broncos country. Let's ride.
With the accent.
Sorry. Broncos country. Let's ride. Let's go.
You're canceled. You're canceled.
Make sure to like and follow us on YouTube, Spotify. Make sure to join the Discord. Make sure that you're following us on Instagram to keep up to date with us. Frank, let them know what they're in for.
Get ready for the battle of the birds. Peace.